Hey there, guys. It's Behind the Bunker. It's Monday night. Welcome. Thank you guys for joining us. It is episode 504, podcast 384. This is our, I don't know what date it is, April 26th in 2021. So thank you guys for joining us. It is me, Todd Ansich. I'll be your host tonight with my friend Gavin Sharma from TerraTech Industries.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Monday. Happy Behind the Bunker. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you hit the like, share, and whatever you need to do. Comment. We're watching you in the chat. Thanks for joining us, and let's get the show on the road, friends.
Yeah. Josh, Zuby Zabrickus, I think he's here with us too.
Yes, I am here as well, and I too, just like Todd, have no idea what day it is.
Yeah, I'm starting to feel that way. And Joe Kimson from Flaggers Paintball.
Hello, everyone, or some people, those of you that are in the chat on Facebook. I can see you, I'm watching you, and I'll say hi to everyone. And thanks for tuning in tonight to watch what we're going to talk about paintball and complain about garbage night and moving a paintball field, how much fun it is, the true awesomeness. Anyway, we'll talk to you soon.
I know everybody's got different different levels of pandemic where they are watching in the world. I know some people are states that are free and you can do whatever in countries, but everybody's got varying levels of it. But we're all just tired of this bullshit, and I think we're all just kind of ho-hummish about it. So hopefully it's done, and hopefully it's done soon. So anyways, thank you guys. Let's move on. Let's get right into it. If you're watching us on Facebook, hit that like and share button, and we are going to watch you guys, your comments. And right now I am booting up. I see you guys on YouTube. There you are. All you need to do is hit that like button on YouTube. Hey, even subscribe if you're feeling feisty. And we're going to watch all your comments. So if you guys have something to say, put it up there, and we'll try to read them on the show. I know the chat gets going sometimes, and it's hard to, but we'll do our best. Tonight we're talking about, later in the show, what do you do to support your local paintball field? And, lots of different ideas and thoughts there of what you guys were saying. A couple things I want to talk to you guys about. We mentioned this last week, and I still think this is worth bringing up. This is the Universal Fill Nipple Covers by Exalt. They are out now. Make sure you guys check out your local retailer for those. Ruthless Paintball, they have team packages. If you guys are going into the season this year and you want to... who's tapping with their... It's like the world's loudest keyboard.
What do you want? Do you want me to respond to people? Do you want me to sit quietly? Do you want me not to side?
No, did you
fight?
No. Did you buy a new keyboard?
No, I have a keyboard from 1992, one of the first ones ever invented. I like it. Oh shit! I drank. There you go. I drank. So I gotta go. Now my video's gone. Everything's gone.
No, your video's still here. We can still see you.
I can't see anything. I don't know where it went. All my this Apple business, nothing's down here.
We were just saying before the show, guys, how much we hate these Zoom shows, and hopefully soon, hopefully within, what do you think, Gavin? 2 weeks?
Never.
No, but 2 weeks we get out of whatever level that we're at right now, right?
So we're our stay-at-home I mean, fire truck.
We're right Deckard for a long time, bud.
Okay, yeah, but I thought for the next 2 weeks we were definitely in the level that we are.
So we are in stay-at-home emergency break / lockdown, and it was originally until May the 4th. May the 4th be with you. And now it has been extended in Ontario for an additional 2 weeks. So we're looking at, I believe, the 18th of May.
Okay.
Before we may have potentially some freedom again.
And then we get back to whatever useless we were in, gray.
And
then we got to stay in there for how long? Probably another 6 weeks?
Well, it's usually 2 weeks assessment at a time, all right? So they'd like to see the numbers for 2 weeks. So, we're it's just day by day. We'll wait to see what happens.
Nice. Well, whatever. Let's go back to some optimism. Guys, have you been on Paintball Media's Patreon page? They have the Tim Montresor documentary. It's up there right now. Go check that out. We also talked about iconic paintball teams. The first episode is already up there. Make sure you guys check it out. And the next one is due on May 10th. I spent 4 or 5 hours today narrating and editing, so hopefully they'll get that and up in time for May 10th. Some things about the team Navarone that I didn't know, so you'll definitely want to check it out. It's pretty interesting. Houston Heat. Here's their version of the TM40. This was posted on DLX's Facebook page today, as well as, I don't know what team that is. Some sort of Pirates, I reckon. Damage Blue, and Aftermath, whatever that is. Pewter, I guess. Either way, good-looking colors. Make sure you guys check that out. An initiative that's happening this Saturday, May 1st. Maybe not the best time of year for it for this year, but the World Paintball Day happens on May the 1st. Everybody's urging to, share, so it goes to, people go to their local paintball fields and play. If you want, you can go to your Facebook profile image, update the profile picture, and you can actually add the frame around it by simply searching the words World Paintball Day 2021, and that ring comes around your photo. So do that if you want to show some support and show all your friends about paintball. Paintball Extravaganza, we did a live show a couple of weeks ago, ladies and gentlemen. All the videos that were sent in by all the manufacturers are up there, both training videos and product videos. You're definitely going to want to go check that out. So head on over to pbevents.com and you can see all their great videos. All right. Joe's back.
I'm back. Sorry about that. Next time you can make comment about my keyboard operations, then I'll go watch TV.
You almost ruined the show, Todd.
Well, while you were away, we started a GoFundMe.
For me to get a new bottle of Lady Maple.
Yeah, there you go. Not the keyboard. It was your Murphy's Moonshine that was most important.
My
they lost.
moonshine.
Right, go. And hopefully we can talk more about Murphy's Moonshine in the next couple of weeks. Joe sent in a great video today in another updated vault. We have some mail time questions. We have custom gear. We have the topic to get to and more on tonight's show.
How can you call it an updated vault? Because it's antiquated, isn't it?
Well, if you're watching a weekly show and there's a new episode, it's an updated, it's the updated one, I guess. I don't know. Wouldn't that be how you'd frame it?
I don't know. Ask Gavin.
But I don't care, Joe.
Whatever. That's fine. No one cares. I got maple syrup moonshine all over my tabletop. My keyboard's too big and clicks. What do you want?
There you go. Rick Chard in the live chat posted the link to Paintball Extravaganza's website. Make sure you guys go check that out at some point and look at some of the videos that are up there. Lots of good things. So thank you to Rick Chard from Paintball Extravaganza. Why don't we go right into this week's From the Vault segment, guys? When we come back, we'll get into even more.
Hey, it's Joe from Flaggers Paintball here with another segment of From the Vault, where we go back in history, back into the early days of paintball, and I show you something that I pulled from my vault, or today I pulled it from my filing cabinet. Today we are going to look at this package. It's from Signatech Equipment Systems Inc. It's dated, looks like 1184 maybe. I don't know how to read that. It's Roman. So what do we get? So we get a Select Fire full auto machine pistol. It's the actual size, 38 caliber. You can get a 20 to 30 round magazine. Rate of fire, 600 rounds per minute, fully auto. Crazy. What else do they have? They have the Crossman manufactured 50 caliber 6-shot repeater. Cutting edge eye protection. Notable feature, strong polycarbonate shield, removable washable forehead sweatband on a Velcro strip, quick fit rear adjusting knob. Amazing. Test results, high impact resistance. Main disadvantages, lower face, remains somewhat exposed depending on the user. Mark 1 pistols at the time, if you minimum ordered, they're $99 each. A reconditioned one is $75. Camouflage jumpsuits, $20. These are used. Some results from a Hamilton tournament. Marking pellets. Pellets are improvements. New for the year include a brighter, richer dye. Crazy. I wonder if there's a price list. Oh, here's some crazy masks. Look at this thing with your goggles. Airgun Games Association. couldn't have a paintball association in 1984, and you can't have one now. More visors, give you a lot more cheek protection. A hockey helmet with no protection. Eye doctors are worried about war games. Not anymore. More about the association. And I think that's all. But anyway, that's a little look in our time machine way back to 1984, where we looked at the Model 85 and the 6-shot repeater, as well as some other stuff. Thanks for watching. You've been watching From the Vault, live and behind the bunker. Pew pew.
Audio Jungle.
Hey, anyway, that was my segment of the vault. Some weeks I struggle with what should I do on this segment of the vault, and I have an old filing cabinet that I took out of my storage unit last year when we closed the indoor, and subsequently before that I got rid of my storage unit. So I had it in my garage, and I was just opening it up to see what's in there, because I know there's a brand new Motorola Talk About radio in a box that we could talk about. But then I started finding some correspondence. So I looked at that, and obviously, as everyone knows, I tend to keep things longer than the average consumer or human. Anyway, so I pulled that envelope out, and it had a 1984 date on it, and I opened it up, and it was from one of my first suppliers. So when I originally got my Mark I Uzis, that's the only gun that was on the market that was available from these guys. But as they became a sort of a larger distributor, if you will, then they started distributing the Mark I Uzi, distributed the 50 caliber Crossman, then varying degrees of safety shields at the time. So it was kind of neat. So that was kind of a neat sort of from the vault. And I've got some other sort of correspondence. I know we looked at what was that company that used to, the mail order company, Gavin, do you remember? Not Frontline, U.S. Cavalry.
Okay.
So I've got a couple other magazines or catalogs from that era that we can look at, as well as some other correspondence from other companies. Keep in mind, this goes back before paintball magazines were even a thing. It was still called War Games. So you were sort of you stumbled upon these various companies through happenstance, because you didn't have any idea. There was no internet. There was no World Wide Web to click. I didn't have a smartphone, and no one had cell phones because they weren't invented. The only people that had a cell phone was like Banachek in his Cadillac, on which you can sometimes watch on A&E. So you had to really struggle to find suppliers for war game supplies at the time. Now obviously it's paintball games. So, and then I found some original artwork for flag raiders. So I've got lots of stuff now. I've got a good arsenal, or a clip full of stuff, as I'm a MagFed fan. So I've got a lot of stuff to come that we'll talk about in future Behind the Bunkers. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching.
One of the masks that you showed, the face protector, looked like something that they were wearing at Starbucks this morning in their drive-thru, like the big plastic full face.
Well, yeah, but that's, when you think about it, when you go back to safety eyewear, you had safety glasses, then you had like a goggle, and then they had these visors that people wore when they were machining or, something like that. And those are your options. One of the pictures, they had a camouflaged hockey helmet with a clear visor on it, but it still had, inch by inch holes on the top and the bottom. It would keep a puck out, but it sure shit wouldn't keep a paintball out.
But let's think about it. Let's say paintball was just invented today. There were no paintball goggles on the market. We would do the exact same thing. We would go to like the local hardware store and buy safety goggles. That would be a good thing to start with. We'd probably,
I wore squash. My first goggles, I wore leader squash goggles because they had a strap and they fit really tightly and they gave decent coverage and they didn't fog because they were designed for people to run around in a little room sweating. So that's what I wore.
Josh, is there anything in the construction industry other than safety glasses that I'm sure there's...
Well, the one thing the construction industry is actually really well known for is its sturdy footwear.
Yeah,
Can't
that's
put those
true.
on your eyes.
You can't put those on your eyes. But, if you think about it, that's before paintball came along, people wore motocross goggles. JT and Oakley were motocross manufacturers. So people wore those. But a normal motocross goggle back then wouldn't take the impact. A motocross goggle now is a thick Lexan lens. Would it take a paintball shot? Probably. But it's not, not designed. But most of us know, or anybody knows, that the ASTM rating for a paintball lens far exceeds the ANSI rating for a motocross goggle and most other forms of protective eyewear.
Well, what are you going to get, a June bug in the mask when you're going down the highway at 100 miles an hour versus a paintball? Yeah. Pete Russell says Uvex grinding goggles would make a good replacement. What Andrew Woodward says, back then it was shop goggles and a nail spot.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The Simeon said the face shield mechanics used to block sparks, like a welder's mask, maybe even. Yeah, I mean,
sometimes you wear those shields at the strippers too. They protect the sparks from coming at you too, and when they're sliding up and down the pole.
What kind of stripper are you going to?
Robotic ones. Gavin, you've been with me enough.
Next time it opens up, I want to see you wearing that welding mask there. I'll sit next to you as your special helper.
That's nice.
Pervert row with a beer and a straw in it.
Jeez. All right. Well, why don't we move on, ladies and gentlemen? We still have
French lick.
There we go. The event's over, but we're still finding a way to bring it up. So there you go. We have mail time coming up in just a moment. We have some custom gear. We have the topic to talk about and some prices right. So why don't we get right into mail time?
Mail time. Mail time.
Mail time. Who lives here?
Ladies and gentlemen, it's mail time. It's my time to shine, where I get to rip open my sack and read some of the correspondence that you, my friends, have sent in. The sack is a little light this week, and that's A-OK, because they are quality questions that are coming to you. The first one comes to us from John Jones, and he wants to know, we talk about growing the sport, so pitch paintball to me is if I was never involved in the game. I've never heard of it. Make me want to try it. All right, marketing genius Jill, lay it on him first.
It's a game that is easy to learn, but yet difficult to master. You can go out as an individual. You don't need to go out with a team, and you're put on a team and you can play. So if you're new to an area and you just moved there and you want to get active, you can play paintball. It's multi-generational. Fathers and sons can play. And some days at the field we have, mothers, fathers, grandparents playing with their kids. I think it's a fantastic way for corporations and companies to learn camaraderie and team building, because as a player, it's a team sport, so you're required to communicate to help win the game or meet your objective. It's played outdoors, so during a pandemic, it's safe. Participants are well distanced. It's regulated. There's referees on the field, and it's fantastic for kids' birthday parties.
Todd, how would you sell that to somebody who's never played paintball before?
Well, you should try speedball.
No, I think Joe covered it all, but I'm thinking more of, right now in this day and age with COVID and all the nonsense, it's proper social distance. You're wearing a mask, but more importantly, it's recreation. It's getting you out of the house, and it's
mental well-being.
Yeah, and you can hang with your friends at a safe distance and participate in something together. I mean, those themselves, if you told me I could do that with all those things, but in something different that I've never known before, I'd be happy to try it for sure. For sure. We're all desperate to do something right now if it gets us out of our house.
What about you, Josh? You stumble across a person who's never heard of paintball before. How would you sell it to them?
Run. Don't play. Don't worry about it. Save all your money.
All right. So from the marketing board of paintball, we have Josh.
Don't go there. No. Yeah, it's fun for all ages. It's completely immersive if you want it to be. It's cosplay if you want it to be. It's multifaceted. There's If you breathe through your knuckles, you can play speedball, I guess.
There is a competitive aspect to it if you want to get into it, absolutely.
There's a competitive aspect in recreation. We don't need it. It's like white wine. We just need it for to be polite for etiquette.
Well, what about those who order chicken?
Chicken's okay. I was at a wedding once where the chicken was succulent.
Well, if you have chicken or fish, what kind of wine do you drink with it?
You can pair whatever your palate is, right? You don't have to go with white with fish and white meat.
What do you feel about rosé? Because rosé is kind of the mix between the white and the red wine.
Hi, Joe.
Yeah.
Let's not get into wino talk.
Yeah, that's on the after show.
All right, next question comes for us from Simeon, a.k.a. Simone Schnacki. He wants to know, what are your oh no moments in the middle of a game? So what are some of your oh no moments?
Yeah.
I didn't fill my tank in between games.
I'm sure we can all attest to this one. You ever playing and you look around at one point in time and realize that every single person on your team that you were playing with is vanished, meaning they're gone, they're dead, and they're standing on the sideline, and you quickly realize that you may be the last one left. But yet you still hear people yelling and screaming on the other side, and you know at any minute you're going to be either ran down or that's sort of the oh no moment everyone kind of fears.
I would agree with that. That's happened numerous times. Anybody who's played, right? When you're looking around, you're like, oh, I'm just screaming communication to myself. There's nobody here. I'm low on paint. And look, holy crap, they got the whole team running towards me. Like, and you start counting around. It's like, yes, it is the oh no moment. Like, and how many times am I going to get hit before I go? Well,
Josh and I were playing with Wolf at Super Game for one of the last battles. And I remember we were all trying to go get something or go somewhere. And I kind of ran left to a bunker to kind of flank up, and I moved 2 bunkers. Then I started yelling, Josh, where are you? And then I see Josh and Wolf on the other side, nowhere even near where I was. And it was like, oh no, I'm too far now. Or if you're up at a 50 position, you're up there on the front lines, and you start reaching towards your pods to get some more paint, and you realize you're out. That's another oh no. How many times does that happen when you're in? You ever find you're in a bunker, and it's one of those miracle bunkers where you shoot a guy out, and another guy replaces him, and you shoot them out. Another guy replaces them, and this continues on. It's like a shooting gallery, but you're in a position where it's so much harder for them to hit you, and you're having a blast. And then you either run out of air or you run out of paint, and it's like, all right, my fun is, you spend hours looking for those spots. And then that's it. You're done. It's time to go.
The only bunker I've been in the last few weeks are ones that I've been lifting.
Yeah.
All right. Josh, do you have an oh no moment?
My oh no moment usually comes during big games when you make a push. You take a few buildings, maybe you take a field. You've got that perfect spot. You get set up in one of those honey holes Todd's talking about. And then you realize I've been fighting for this whole thing this whole time, and now I'm at a paint and air. And my oh no moment is trying to find someone to take over that spot in hopes that I can get off the field, get more air, get more paint, and get back there and not have the entire field lost again.
Yeah.
Remind me of the honey hole that you just mentioned.
I just went on to Instagram and used the hashtag honey hole, and you should have seen what came up.
I just went on OnlyFans and did honey hole.
Don't Google that.
So Josh, when you push up ahead of your team and you get to that honey hole and you're holding things down, but your own team doesn't realize that's you. And all of a sudden, the oh no moment is the friendly fire, but you can't stick an armband out or a team tags out because that'll be shot, right? So you just have to start screaming, hope somebody can hear. Yeah. When communication sort of falls apart and you're being hit by or shot at by your team and the opponent team. Yeah, that's not a good time.
But like as Josh said,
I often play that where if the paint doesn't break, somebody shot me. I immediately shoot back and then have a nice conversation with them as we both walk up to the dead box about how dumb they are.
Or the giggle, oh, you're on my team? Yeah, jackass, thank you. As I
make my way to the dead box. Team. It's like, here's a couple extra bonus.
I told you I felt bad. I do like your comment though, Josh. You know, you've played a big game and you're out on the field and you're out of paint and you're out of, you know, air and you have to leave. But as you're leaving, like, you realize that your team is doing really well. You have half the field and you're pushing bunkers. So you go in, you get some more paint and air, grab a snack, and then you grab a couple buddies. You go back out on the field, and then you realize that while you're out there, you and the rest of your blue team were out having lunch, and the red team has overtaken everything, and you're now down to just your spawn. That's an oh-no moment.
You walk off, and some kid walks off the field, looks at you and goes, "We just lost the whole field." It's like, are you kidding me?
Yeah. Yeah, it's lunch is a killer on a big game because everyone just wants to have a snack and eat, and then it's whichever team has the least hungriest players ends up taking the most real estate.
And it's a catch-22, I think, too, because I've played in a few games where lunchtime comes and they'll shut down the game.
Yeah.
And then everybody goes back out, but by the time everyone goes back out, like, everyone's done.
Yeah.
It's like they lost the momentum. They sat down for 20 minutes and everybody's like, "Oh man, I'm tired."
I used to like the fact that we would play all through even lunch, and we would offer like an hour and a half lunch. I thought that was great, and I didn't like the idea of stopping the game and then switching sides. But after I've played a couple stop games and flipping the field, I think it is better. Like, I know you go in fatigued in the afternoon, but I think it's better because you get to play the opposite side of the field. There's no complaints.
Flipping sides gives you a little bit more interest too, I think, right? It's fresh, it's different, it's new. You've been shooting that way the whole game. Now you get to shoot back the opposite way. So you get an idea of where you can go, where the field can move. I do like it, and I appreciate it when it does happen.
Yeah. I got a little off topic, but that was good.
Yeah, I'm gonna, just to do a quick plug before I go into my next question. Bricktop is in the house, and I just wanted to wish him a happy birthday, a milestone birthday. So on behalf of everybody from Behind the Bunker, we wish you a happy birthday, my friend.
I'm not going to say how old he was, but I had no idea. He does not. I must be oil of Olay. I don't know what he uses.
Oh, you think he looks good? Oh, okay. It's like, wow. I'm like, what? That's it?
I know you think he looks terrible. I think he looks younger than he is.
All right. I'm sure I'll get his number to you afterwards. All right. Next question comes to us from Colin Cooper, and he wants to know, as a field owner, other than playing, what can players do to support you or show support of the field? How can players give back to provide some support of the fields? I'm going to pin that. Don't answer that yet because I believe that is our topic for this evening. So we're going to be able to hear some questions and suggestions from everybody else in the paintball community, and then I'll let you guys chime in afterwards. So thank you for that question, Colin. It is timely because it is our topic for this evening. So the next question that I will open it up to those who have been moving some fields comes to us from Tommy Guns. And Tommy wants to know, what are some hilarious things you find or you might find when moving a paintball field? Anything, gentlemen, that you come across?
First of all, hernias are not hilarious.
The guys on Saturday were moving a building in Saigon, and they uncovered a rabbit nest that had baby rabbits in them, so they relocated them.
I like the obscure articles of clothing you find, like a pair of like underpants or an undershirt, and you're like, what was the point? Like, at what point did this need to come off and is laying on the ground?
We're finding lots of mags and stuff, but the field, the field's relatively clean. Like, there's probably more water and Gatorade bottles from the referees taking them on the field than there is from the guests. There's a lot of smoke, leftover smoke canisters from EG Smoke, which eventually would break down. But, anything that's probably within, 24 months is still, you can tell what it is. We find lots of reusable first strike rounds because those things are okay. So there's lots of first strike rounds kicking around.
The technical name for them, Joe, is restrikes.
Restrikes.
Yeah.
There's lots of restrikes laying around. But, we're finding things that
I think Gavin, you and I were talking, and Karen and I were talking about the water bottles and the Gatorade bottles in the field. My first thought was the referees, but I know a lot of guys will put them in their pod packs and try to drink them under their goggles on the field, and then they just dump them out there. I really wish patrons would not do that, because not only is it not safe having their goggles, even if they just tilt their head back and try to dump it down their mouth, then you could still get a stray paintball under the goggle, but just the amount of garbage.
And I think we mandate no beverages on the field other than a Camelback, like
For sure.
no plastic, no single use plastic.
It's hard to police
Or
it when
bring
you've
a
got them
straw,
hidden
you
in
barbarians.
Oh, but only paper straw. Only paper straws because we have turtles.
Ew.
Well, I found what would have been my stash. It was a can of Waterloo Dark and 2 water bottles. So I'm thinking that's just my perfect. If I had a pod pack, I'd stick those in because that's exactly what I drink after the field.
That's right.
Don't
We
you
didn't find any
save those for the shower?
Crocs or anything. We haven't found any of the shoes people have lost. I don't think we haven't lost anything that we've come across that was lost. Have we found any? Lots of barrel bags.
Yeah, and
Barrel bags, mags.
We have an area of the field where it's a really low area, and we've lost people's shoes in that area because the mud just sucks it up. But we haven't. I think once it's in there, it's done.
Yeah, archaeologists will find that in 4,000 years with some pterodactyl skulls and stuff like
Belongs
that.
to the earth now.
Yeah,
They'll find a pair of shoes or something.
yeah.
All right, next question comes to us from the Instagram world from Ziggletech Diver. And he wants to know, have you noticed a resurgence of older players and demand for older markers? How do you think this will play out at fields once they can reopen?
I don't see a resurgence for older markers other than like retro stuff, but older marker parts are huge right now. Do you have a solenoid for an 06 Proto? Do you have a back cap for a, for this gun or eyesight, or what are they called? Eye covers. Like obscure things for obscure old markers that nobody has anymore. And autococker parts. If you even mention that you've got I've told a bunch of people in the past couple years that we got a box of autococker parts, and all of a sudden this year and last year, people are remembering that conversation and messaging me going, I heard you had some autococker parts. Do you have anything? I'm looking for this and this. And at this point, I basically said, no, it's all gone. But everyone's looking for old gear stuff.
If you can find microline that fits on the front of old Cocker 3-ways,
yeah, anything I have would be so
sitting on a gold mine. It's impossible to find. The only way to get microline that fits again is to buy from Inception's Designs the new barbs.
Yeah,
completely replace all the barbs and completely replace all the hoses.
Because every Cocker 3-way barb seems to be slightly different size. There's definitely different sizes. So when you're shopping for hose or hoses, it's hard to find the right size.
I cannot find hose anywhere. I've even got a couple feet of the old school line. It was yellow, which I don't like, but trying to repair some on my old VF Tactical.
Yeah.
Cannot find hose to fit it for the life of me.
Yeah. But yeah, there's a ton of people that are coming back into the sport that we used to see years ago, that are now kind of bringing their kids back with them, or just remembering that they used to play. The girlfriend that took them away from paintball has since dumped them, and now they're free again and they're back playing paintball, and they've got their old Evil pants on, or their Zap t-shirt, or whatever was the style at the time.
But is that a bad thing? Late last fall, I was having calls from people wanting to know if we had parts for piranhas and brass eagle, whatever those abominations were, and even Model 98s and A5s. That's a good sign. That means those guys haven't played for probably 8 to 10 years, and now they're getting back into it. And it's hard to have the heart to say, by the time I find parts for your gun and so on and so forth, you're probably better just to, spend $80 or $100 and buy yourself a brand new something and get out and play right away. So it's kind of a slippery slope, but you have to, you can tell these guys are keen, and they have this old gear that they've been coveting for several years. So it's tough, but to find piranha O-rings and stuff and half of those things are proprietary. They don't even exist anymore. So, and
I'm pretty excited whenever I see a kid come out to the field with gear. Was must have been his uncles or his fathers. Like they have no idea what it is on them. And we're oogling them, right? But we got to be careful because they're kids, right? So, ooh, what are you wearing?
Robert Hansen says, "What about Diablo pants?"
Yeah, Diablo pants, like
El Diablo,
evil pants, like any of that stuff, right? Like, oh my gosh, it's pretty exciting for people who've been around the sport for a while to see that come back again, right? So again, there's also pawn shop sales or eBay sales that people are picking up, and they don't know the value of it. And as Joe said, sometimes it breaks your heart that they can't get them up and running because they can't get the parts. But it's exciting to see younger generation embracing older school stuff and the old school people that stepped away from the sport coming back in. So I love the resurgence. I really do.
Well, look at Andrew. He says if you have carnivore parts, you're rich. And on that, I was just thinking, you'll see the guy that'll come to the field and he'll pull out this old bag and he'll take a T-shirt and peel it off this brand new carnivore that's only been used a couple of times. And it's like, wow, you have no idea what you have there, sir. And unfortunately, just because the age of the marker, half the times it doesn't work. But when they do, good for them. Good for them.
I'll still offer him $400 for it.
There we go. I know we're getting a little long in this segment, but one more before I wrap up my sack, if that's okay, Todd.
Ding, ding, ding.
So this is also from the Instagram world, and it's from Raptor PB. What makes a great paintball field great? What the heck?
I remember
makes that
someone
standout
asked
field?
us years ago this same question on social media, and someone put in showers. I'm sorry, but I'm not showering at a paintball field, even if they were like the local Y. First of all, I don't know how many paintball fields are going to have legitimate showers, but
I love that that's your baseline, the local Y. That's as far as I'll go.
Well, okay, I'm not in high school or school, so I'm not having like gym showers. I'm just trying to think where else would you have showers. I guess
you'd have to clean that. That'd be gross. I'd bring my own shower, one of those black solar showers that
like the camping ones,
water, then you put on your roof during the day, then you shower yourself off. But I wouldn't go stand in a shower that other people.
And I don't want to be telling war stories while you're washing off your self and your
rifle.
junk is hanging out,
this
right?
Is for fighting.
Yeah, I saw you creeping up on me. Yeah.
Just focus on your own work there, Chief.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll chat afterwards. What makes a paintball field great? We've all played numerous fields. We've all played exceptional fields, and we've played some really, really piss poor fields as well. That goes with the territory. So what stands out for you? What makes that a field exceptional for you guys?
An entrance to the field that's not a mile walk. And I'll cite Challenge Park for that one for their Living Legends games. That you want to go play, but you have to walk all the way to the left and then do a U-turn and come back. And we clocked it at almost a kilometer. It was horrible.
And then you had to wait to get in because the nuclear clock wasn't quite ready to let you in. Let's go play paintball. Do you want me to shoot paint or do you want me to tell time? Like, let's go.
Yeah. So a close proximity to all the fields from the staging area. I also like one that has a parking lot that's not, that's large enough that I can get fairly close to the drop-off area. That's always important. There was a field that we used to play that was a good field, but you used to have to drive down this real steep embankment, and most of the times you weren't even guaranteed a parking spot down there. So that was pretty sketchy. But Josh, what about you? What about flags or props that you should be able to know how they work?
Hanging a flag in a hospital. There is a direct correlation between how good a field is and how well it's run and how many skids are there. You got a lot of skids, you ain't got a good field. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
But you know what? As much as I'm not a proponent of skids, Binghamton's put in those skids in the Rebel base along the side, and they formed sort of a canal, if you will, so people would walk through them, and they turned into a sort of a neat sort of trench-like prop. But I'm not a big proponent of skids.
I do like interesting props on the field for sure.
It was neat, Joe, but there was not enough openings or exits to it. It kind of cut off half the field. That was slightly annoying.
But you don't
I
like a
think-
standard pile of skids, Josh?
Eh?
You don't like a nice stack of skids as a prop behind?
No, not as furniture, not as props on a paintball field, not as shabby chic
Yes,
Instagram photos.
Cameron Turnbull wants to know if
Skids are great
pallets.
for loading up,
Yes.
water and toilet paper and Costco.
Canadian Skids American
about it.
pallets.
Yeah.
So in the Facebook chat, we have Jake Hostetler says refs make or break a field.
Yeah.
Colin Cooper agrees with friendly and engaging staff.
Yeah.
So I would agree with both of those comments as well, and that's my answer.
Yeah.
The complete staffing team there in terms of what culture they create and endorse for the field, right? Is it friendly, welcoming? Does it cater only towards those equipment owners who like to chew up newbies and all that?
Yeah.
Is there a culture established where, experienced players play by themselves and rental players play by themselves? And who's doing the work? Like, do you see them just, behind the mask on the field, or are they coming out and they're milling around in the compound areas? Are they interacting with you, ensuring you're having a great experience and soliciting feedback as well?
Yeah.
And that will create, that creates a culture of community, camaraderie, and then those are the same people that come back, and then they want to build on that too. So that's what makes an exceptional
But
field. You'll find
what
that
about
all
just general front of house staff? That sets the tone for as soon as you walk in the place. Joe and I flew to a field. I'm not going to say where it was, but we flew several hours to this field, and we got there. We're all excited, and the first person we talked to was the person that was at the gate that was selling us our tickets and signing us in, and it was almost like she was doing us the favor by signing us in and letting us play at their field. And I get they were busy that day, but you know what? A little smile on the face or a hello and just being polite, there's nothing more of a turnoff than when you go somewhere, and that could even be a restaurant. Your server comes up and, I mean, I know we haven't been to restaurants in years, but, when they came up, the tone of their voice immediately dictated how well you were going to, whether you were going to enjoy yourself or not. So, yeah,
Sure.
I agree. Staff is a huge one. And if you have a great ref who facilitates all your stuff over the course of the day, that's memorable. You're right. Absolutely.
And you can create an incredible experience with just skids and pallets, Josh, if you have a good ref.
Yeah.
Josh, what makes a great field for you, my friend?
There's a lot of different factors. Not only when you talk about ref staff, but ref staff that have the ability and the wherewithal and know-how to spot, equipment owners who are shooting overly hot or overshooting, and have that ability to remove players who are just being jerks from the field. Yeah. There's a lot of times where I see refs just kind of let it roll off their back, kind of half the day, almost a full day. And it's like, man, you ruined everybody's experience because you didn't want to go talk to that guy.
But
It's
ref,
terrible.
you need the ref. The ref needs to be able to step out of his friend and member uniform and into a referee uniform and become non-partial. And if one of the members or one of his buddies or one of his friends, not necessarily his buddies, his friends is being a little aggressive, the ref needs to say, hey, you're being aggressive. And it's like what I always say to them, WWJD, what would Joe do? If you have somebody shooting what you think is fast, and tell them to slow down. If they don't like it, then come talk to me. That's my thing.
Angry Canadian Gamer also says on this topic, he likes to see a diversity in maps. Yeah, I mean, you can't play the same thing all day, that's for sure. And not only that,
maps have to do with an old wooden ship?
But it's also how you play it. Like, you can't just, if you go there every weekend and they constantly play end to ends, at least if your referee or your organizer has a little bit of wherewithal, they'll combine or change the games or change the boundaries up or make certain things out of play. So if you are stuck to or relegated to only be able to go to one field that's in your area, at least they make it interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to cinch up my sack this evening. And, folks, if you have an additional correspondence that you would like us to address, make sure you hit us up on the social medias or send it to showbehindthebunker.com. We will address it here on Mail Time.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, it is that time of the night where we want to tell you guys about the greatness that is Planet Eclipse. Do you know that they have more championships? They have new mechanical markers, new electronic markers, Hey, all new territory, including their new MagFed division. Get Planet Eclipse, ladies and gentlemen, and take on the world. Now available at any of your better retailers.
When the world's greatest players, photographers, and expected parents need the best coverage, most vivid colors, biggest selection, they pull the tab on an EG product. Hashtag Pop Smoke, now with brand new packaging. Boom. Pop.
Thick welded seam, stainless steel hardware, multiple color options makes AirUps the number one choice for inflatables on and off the field. Made in America by Brent Davis and his crew, airups.com.
Dreams fade. Ruthless paintball products, color sublimation, and craftsmanship never die. On or off the field, Ruthless keeps you fresh. Use a promo code BTB15 for 15% off your order.
Adapt, create, and win. Exalt is in our blood. And in fact, that is our blood type. So make your game boil. Get Exalt, which is available worldwide.
Worldwide. From the beginning, you stumble down a rocky cliff, waded chest deep through a mosquito-infested bog. Now, whether you're sliding into the snake or running and gunning, GI Sports has the gear for you. Now it's a Stormer, Stormer Tactical, and Stormer Elite. Boom, boom.
DLX Technologies, ladies and gentlemen, true industry innovators with some of the lightest, fastest, and sleekest hardware in paintball. DLX has the power to get you to the podium, and I'm told that's where you want to be, ladies and gentlemen. So thank you to all of our great sponsors. If you want to tag them in the chat, please do so, or please follow them on their social media. We would not represent them on our show if we didn't feel that they had some quality products. So go check them out. Josh, we have we have some custom corner, but I think we're gonna wait because we still have a topic to discuss real quick before the end of the show.
Oh, you do whatever you want.
And then if we can get back to it, we certainly will. But tonight's topic, ladies and gentlemen, as we mentioned, is what do you do to support your local paintball field? Yeah. And I mean, I read someone's comment. At first I thought it was snarky, but then I realized it wasn't. He says, I play there. And it's true. Any business that you give these paintball fields is definitely your help. We posted up on social media, and a lot of you guys posted up on Instagram.
Brand new I play there.
What is that?
I clicked on a comment on my phone. I'm sorry. It's not a keyboard, it's my phone. Like, what do you want?
Joe thinks we're picking on him.
I've got all this stuff going on. I'm trying to type on the forum.
You got Lady Maple all over you.
I got Lady Maple all
the
over
ice
my
cubes
table.
had sharp corners.
I know.
By the way, you and your hoity-toity ice cubes, good for you. I can hear them clinking in your glasses. We don't have ice cubes at our house.
These are round globulars, little ice balls, ice gems, if you will.
Nice. So, Josh, I gave you sheets. Gavin, I think I gave you a sheet. Joe, I did not give you any sheets.
I'm sheetless in Seattle.
So Joe can maybe watch the comments in the chat then.
Did you drop them off at my house today, Todd?
I did. I may not have texted you, but they're in your mailbox.
I did not go check with them.
It's not one of your damn kids at Grantham Hill.
Like, Gavin, it's 9 o'clock. They're asleep like 2 hours
You would
ago.
think they're asleep.
Yeah. Well, we might have to do some of it by memory then.
All right, so the first one comes to us from Wolf Druggle Gaming. Says at the moment he's been in college, so finding a local field has been hard. But recently found one and started refereeing for them. Field is small, but has the nicest people there. So yeah, reffing, working there. That's giving back to the field.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we have our own paintball field, so I can't give that as an example because when I go there, I'm working anyways. But I belong to a range, and when I go there, my wife and I, if we go shoot, if we see any debris on the ground, because we're members, we kind of feel obligated to clean up, and that's what we do. We make sure that, everything is ready to go for the next person that shows up, and there's only a couple hundred people that belong to this thing, so it's not like it's heavily occupied. So if there's something out of place, you notice it, you clean it up, you fix it for that couple of seconds it takes. I would assume if I was, not a proprietor of a paintball field, I would go there and do the same thing. Like if someone left their paintball bags on the ground beside my picnic table, I'd probably pick them up and clean them up. I can't see why I wouldn't do stuff like that, but stuff like that would help.
Great. You leave the place better than you found it. right? And so that's tidying up and making sure that you're not a nuisance, and supporting people around you as well to have a great time. And even if you're not playing, like our friend River Sticks Media says, when he was able to, he'd take pictures at big games and post them here on Facebook. And when current world situations are under control, he would be doing the same again. So photographers, people who have ability, skills to take exceptional photos and videos and experiences, and share that and tag it. People who have played for the first time, seeing themselves, that's a real treat. So that definitely helps out the local field and grows the sport as well.
Yeah.
Ryan McGee said, I've also volunteered to help at the field down at #FrenchLick for the game next year if I'm not able to play. So Ryan's done some volunteering, and during our move, we've had some of our, team members, regular players, airsoft guys have all been out helping us, move, lift, a pair of arms is more than welcome anytime. So, thanks to anybody, all those that have come out and helped us out with the move.
Yeah. But think of it, if you guys go to your field and you play there fairly often, how, if there's a referee going out in the field, or if the field is getting overrun and they're busy that day, volunteer to help, with say to the ref, listen, I'll take this group to this, to the other side of the field with me, and I'll explain the rules over there if you want, or however you can. Even just mentor some of the younger players. I mean, anything that you can do to help give anyone that's there a better experience, that's the key right there, I would say.
I would agree.
Yep.
And how Chafing PB supports his local field is he tags and posts and talks to non-players about the safety and level of experience the owner and staff have. So really doing some off-the-field advertising and informal advertising, word-of-mouth stuff is how he supports his local field.
Yeah. Even if you can get a T-shirt that has their logo on it to start conversations when you're out in public and with your friends, that's a good way to be an ambassador to the sport for sure. Yeah. And organized groups, that's another way that you can help out.
Yes, every once a week, bring 40 people. That would be a big help to any field on a weekday.
But if you've got friends at work, put a poster up in the break room and say, hey, who wants to play paintball this weekend? And try to organize something once every couple of months, and maybe challenge, the other McDonald's that you're not working at to a match, or wherever you're employed.
It's a good idea.
Yeah. Oh,
AES boy. Miller says, from somebody who works at a field, the best way to support a field is to play, as you mentioned earlier, Todd.
Yeah.
So when people drive by and see cars in a lot more people want to be there, then business gets good. Yeah, so play as much as you can.
Bobby Dowse says, I'm just hanging out at the field, talk to the parents or get new players excited, tell them paintball stories. Colin Cooper says, Tiger Stripe BTB hoodies.
Yep.
I said bring your friends to play paintball. Andrew Woodyard says Destiny Paintball created attachment for your state. Andrew, where are you? What state are you in?
Manny, where you at?
Manny, where you at? What movie's that? Does anybody know besides Gavin?
Never get off the boat.
Nope, wrong
nope.
one.
Close
wrong
though.
one.
Oh.
Don't say it.
Dumb and Dumber?
Oh, Todd, you and you. Todd doesn't know his Vietnam movie genres from Dumb and Dumber.
I watched a YouTube documentary of little known facts about that movie. I've got to send you that link because I found it pretty interesting.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Lorenzo got it.
Excellent.
There we go.
We'd like to thank Lorenzo and his son Ben for coming down and helping us this weekend as well. Lift stuff.
For sure. Our good friend from Germany, call sign Braveheart, the Braveheart, says how he supports his local field is he gives them his free time, free labor for anything, right? So it's just sort of being there, being present, and helping out in any capacity. So yeah, absolutely.
Hey, there's something. Yeah, absolutely. Like I remember before I was part of paintball, I heard that they were going to be building a couple of new play structures, and I thought that was awesome. What better way to spend an afternoon and not spend money, but to help your local paintball field build something even more fun that you're going to want to play on, and that goes a long way too. If you sling a hammer or bring a screw gun out and help assemble some stuff, because it's only going to make your experience better. If you're tool savvy. I know not everybody is, but We had a member that brought out his tool set that consisted of tools that you would buy at the dollar store, and it was it was very not helpful. I believe his hammer fell apart.
No, that's the loaner set. Right? He has all this good stuff at home. Right? That's what I lend to friends.
Braveheart's from Germany, and he drives his people's car to the field to help out.
He sure does. Yes. All right. So Paintball 100 says he tries to purchase as much of his equipment as he can through them and not online. So he also tries his best to make it as welcoming for new players as he can. So yeah. So if you can purchase from brick and mortar stores, that's great versus sort of those big box type stuff. Yeah. Help the little guys for sure.
Two words sort of sum that up, Gavin. Shop local.
Shop local, wherever local may be.
Yeah, and every business, whether it's paintball, restaurant, anything in the entertainment business, is hurting bad with COVID. So when you go out to the field for the next little while, I know this sounds kind of whatever to say, but don't ask for discounts. You know what I mean? Like, I have a couple local restaurants that we try to hit at least once or twice a month just to kind of help support. But we're not asking for discounts. We're not going on their cheaper day. We're just trying to help them out. And kind of do the same thing with your local paintball field. I mean, they're a business too. Yes, I get it. But most of these paintball fields are family-run businesses. That's all that they do. And with this pandemic that's hit the world, no one's doing well. So just try to keep them surviving right now.
If you want to play, support local.
Yeah.
Support those little mom and pop shops as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Gavin, I'm going to unfortunately have to cut our segment short.
But I was talking a lot. I got a lot of screen time tonight.
I know you did, and that's kind of why I'm shutting her down. So, ladies and gentlemen, here's what we're going to do. If you're watching us on Facebook, we're going to say farewell to you. We're going to continue to record for our podcast, and we're going to zip over to YouTube and continue to broadcast over there. So if you want to join us and continue on, you can certainly head over there. So yeah, thank you. I don't want to say we're not going to say all of our goodbyes on Facebook because we are running behind, but thank you to all. We'll see you guys next week. Thank you to Joe, Josh, and Gavin for being on the program, Matt for producing, and
through to the other side.
We'll see you guys on Monday.
Don't be a freeloader. If you liked what you hear, make sure to hit the share button below. Also follow us on our social media outlets like Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, ICQ, and now MySpace. If you want to join the conversation, post your comments and we might read them on the show.
Yeah, so whatever. That we were just talking about how that movie Joe was referring to was Platoon, for those that may not know. I actually kind of like to know.
Now, in all fairness, I watched Apocalypse Now on Tuesday night.
Oh, did you really? Which version?
So it was. I don't know why it was fresh in my mind, and I was
that's okay.
obsessing with Never Get Off the Boat.
But it's okay only if you answer Joe's question. Which version did you see?
Which what? Sorry.
Version.
That's
of
true.
Apocalypse Now.
Of Apocalypse Now?
The redo version?
No, the original. I have it on.
Okay.
DVD.
Well, that's okay.
The redo puts
significantly better.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I was still quite angry at you.
Blu-ray.
I was ranting as we were throwing over to YouTube. Josh, okay, you do get a little bit of a pass because you were watching Apocalypse Now this week, so it's fresh in your mind. But if you ever make a mistake like that again, ever, I'm going to set you on fire. I promise you.
So.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yes.
Rightfully so.
Yeah.
Apocalypse Now used to
I may
be
watch
on...
Platoon tonight just because.
You should watch Platoon.
That's your
Apocalypse
consequence.
Now used to be on Netflix.
Not much of a consequence.
You know what? We are.
Is it still on Netflix now?
Joe and I were having this sad conversation on the weekend about like just dated references. Like we were talking about a field that may have an older reference to it that we may change in the future. But we are all of a certain age, and maybe for next week's show, I just thought of a topic. I would like to solicit everyone that watches the show. What movie, what army or war movie or fighting movie do they watch before they go out to play paintball to inspire them? And I'd like to see how like the different generations, because not everyone's going to say, like we'd say Apocalypse Now, we'd say stuff like that, or we'd say Platoon, but some of the younger people that watch the program, I'm very curious to see what they would say. So maybe that's a good, interesting.
That's an interesting question, because we might watch, you might watch Platoon or Apocalypse Now. You might watch Black Hawk Down or 13 Minutes in Benghazi. Like those are 13 hours. We were 13 minutes. 13 hours in Benghazi. Those are like sort of solid sort of actiony movies, you might watch Zero Dark 30.
I wonder, though, and this is going to really upset you, but I wonder if some of the people are going to say different things, more like a John Wick style movie, or
maybe,
and
but
only because
it'd be
like
interesting to see.
Nothing makes you want to tear up a paintball field like watching any of the John Wick movies.
No, but it's different. Like, I think when we were all younger, war movies were an easy thing to make after. Now it seems to be more like, I don't know. It's different.
And is it movies that are people getting sort of pumped up with? Or are they playing like squad-based games online? Right? Are they getting pumped playing Call of Duty? Are they playing what is that, Tarak, whatever they had the other day?
Yeah,
I don't know. You damn kids in your video games.
I watch reruns of the Josh battle.
The Josh, Jesus Christ.
That was amazing, by the way.
It was quite amazing.
Yeah. Oh, Boondock Saints we're getting in the live chat. Bobby Dukes, Borat, says Stephen. Rambo. See, that would be a good one. What about Commando? Arnold Schwarzenegger goes up to he goes up against 150 soldiers who can't hit anything, but he can hit them one bullet at a time out of a machine gun.
Sully, when I said I'd kill you, when I promised I'd kill you last, I lied, and he dropped it. Kelly's Heroes, but we don't have a Sherman tank. And we don't
Full Metal Jacket. Oh, going back to Commando, I still remember as a kid that scene where he doesn't have a gun in a tool shed, so instead of shooting the guy,
circular saw blade.
he throws the circular saw blade like a throwing star and slices someone's skull half off.
Yeah,
sorry, spoiler alert. You haven't seen Commando.
I think it was over 30 years. It doesn't matter.
But how many people probably watching Behind the Bunker and playing paintball have not seen Commando? Like, they weren't even born.
I thought you were saying people watch Behind the Bunker before they get pumped up before a game, but I'm like, okay.
Not a chance.
Now you're just lying.
This is what I used to bring myself down on the way home from the field.
Commando's from 1985. A retired Special Forces colonel tries to save his daughter, who is abducted by his former subordinate. And what's her name, is it?
Alyssa Milano.
Alyssa
Milano.
I was going to say Ray Dong Chong's in it, too.
I knew he'd be in that. Just Bodies, says Stephen. Now, we're talking war movies, not X-rated movies.
But do you know what's funny, though? Out of all the war movies that everyone talks about, no one ever mentions We Were Soldiers.
Yeah, that was a good movie. We had a great scenario game built off of that.
It was a decent movie, but no one sits there and they're like, hey, man, like, I watched Platoon last night. Oh, that's cool. Hey, man, I watched We Were Soldiers last night. Why, were you bored?
Well, I don't want to be that guy, but I mean, the book was better, but it was still a decent movie.
We did a scenario at the middle field on We Were Soldiers because it was a very Vietnam field and it was perfect for helicopter insertions.
I watched a 30-second Facebook clip yesterday of Enemy at the Gates, and it was named that. Someone posted and said name that movie, and I remember it right away. But that was awesome. But I remember that movie being not very good. But that scene was very good.
Yeah.
But talking about sort of themes of different fields. SE Village, is that still around?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Is it? Okay. Is it still Vietnam based? Do you know? Or people have sort of evolved from that and just made it paintball?
Yeah. I don't know.
I'm really curious. We've gone
through quite a. So we went through about 5 to 10 years at Paintball Extravaganza where we were all talking about how we need to not call them paintball guns and call them markers and not call them war games, and then it's kind of gone full circle where now it's back to, embracing what it is, because people run mud runs knowing they're going to get muddy. They don't show pictures of them in their all tighty-whities, all nice and clean, right? Like, so that's kind of gone full circle. But there was a time where there was no, so I'm wondering if a lot of paintball fields have taken that away.
We took for a while. We took the sort of the war aspect out of it, and what was perceived now is perceived as the fun, the aspect, the fantasy element. We took that out and dumbed it down, and we almost made paintball not fun.
Yeah.
But people want to feel that. They want that, cosplay immersion, if you will.
Yeah. But I wonder if it's no longer war themed, if it's more like we'll be able to tell more story by the movies. But most of the movies that you guys are saying in the in the live chat right now, aside from like Boondock Saints and some of the other ones, are very military-esque. So, I mean, you're not gonna watch the Sarah Jessica Parker movie Failure to Launch because it's got paintball in it to amp you up. So you're not going to be in the rom-com genre. I mean, maybe you are, but
genre, no.
I was able to get genre in once more before
You were.
show.
Yeah, well done. I loved how you wove that in seamlessly. It was wonderful.
Well, it was almost as good as Joe's French lick shoehorn at the beginning of the show. We got to get them in. We have to. So what's Chica Estrada says Young Guns, Act of Valor. That was a good.
Oh, yeah.
Act of
Great
Valor.
movie.
That was a great movie. What about like people think of like Bat 21 about Gene Hackman, where they shot down sort of behind enemy lines, and he's got Danny Glover flying above him, giving him directions. Like those are some fantastic movies that people don't even think about.
Yeah. Yeah.
I saw not a great scenario, but a surprise movie for me, The Wall, I think it was called.
A Vietnam movie?
No, it was likely Afghanistan, I think. Yeah, it was Afghanistan. And a sniper team goes out and gets trapped behind a wall and plays out like that. No, but it clearly I'm not part of the promotions department.
I got this great idea. See,
There's
this wall, right?
Two American snipers are trapped by a lethal. Two American soldiers are trapped by a lethal sniper with only an unsteady wall between them. It was filmed in 2017.
Yeah,
wasn't bad at all. I was quite surprised.
Toy Soldier says Dan and Hardy.
There was a new one out recently on Netflix with, I think it was one of the Helmsworth brothers.
Oh, that was good. What's it called?
That was really good.
Helmsworth.
And while they're
Hang on a
thinking,
second, I'm looking at it right now.
and while they're thinking of it, Josh, I like your down
Extraction,
Periscope comment.
Why is no one talking about down Periscope?
Because then we're going to get into things like Hot Shots. Does Hot Shots ramp you up, or maybe Top Gun ramp you up before you go play paintball?
Hot Shots Part 2
Part
with
2.
the bow scene in the chicken.
Yeah. By the way, I'm not going to change subject, but has anybody seen that new movie Nobody yet?
No,
I have
nobody.
not yet, and I'm waiting for someone to tell me it's actually good. Because so far, everybody's saying it's okay.
Isn't it like $500 to rent?
Yes, it's like $27.
Yeah.
Like I want to invite everybody over, which I can't, just to make it more reasonable.
Ooh, but like, I used to go to the movies a lot, and now that we can't, I don't know if I'll ever go back.
Yeah, I don't miss it. Although we've ordered movie popcorn and picked it up a couple times because there is something to be said about.
Stupid.
No, it is not. Bite your
Beyond
tongue.
stupid.
Todd.
Orville Redenbacher, 230 in your microwave.
Todd, if you ever want that experience, bring some microwave popcorn over. I'll give you an entire salt shaker of salt, and we'll pour some fake butter on it, and you'll have a heart attack that way.
Can we just pause for a moment and just see how ridiculous Todd is? Like he just spent what? $30 for popcorn at home.
Okay, if I go take my wife and I to a movie, we're probably $40 between movie tickets and popcorn. We haven't done that in almost 2 years, right? It was a year and a half, anyways. So for me to go to the theater and spend $20 or $28 on popcorn and what do you call that? Fruitopia from the fountain. It's an experience. We haven't done it in so.
Call me. I will charge you the same. I will deliver it in a little red bag.
And
skip the Gavins.
And while we're calling people out, Steven in the live chat says Top Secret. Do you guys remember the movie Top
Val
Secret?
Kilmer.
Straighten that rug.
No.
That was bad. Oh, boy.
Okay.
Anyways. Well, why don't we end this here before we get into an argument about...
Perfect.
Yeah, that's also... By the way, if I get a chocolate craving and I want to buy just a chocolate bar, I go to the movie theaters, Gavin.
What?
I'm just trying to piss you off once more.
You can order it from Skip the Dishes.
That's
One
right.
chocolate-
a
one
$20
chocolate
chocolate
bar
bar.
for $40.
Oh my god.
Yeah, although I did stop by there today, got some Jubji fruits on the way to see you in the hospital. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being on the show tonight. Thanks, Joe Kimson, for being with us.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Josh Subizabrickus.
Yeah, thank you everyone for tuning in. Don't forget to help control your local airsoft population. Have your local airsofters spader.
And Gavin Sharma.
It was great to be here, folks. Thank you for your contributions in the chat. Thank you for all your support of the show by liking on YouTube and sharing on the Facebooks. We'll see you guys next week. Thanks for joining us.
And thank you to Dwayne King, who gets the final comment. He says, tonight's podcast brought to you by Loud Old Keyboards.
That's funny.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next week.